Hey there everyone! It's been a little while since I updated you on my bullet journal, so I wanted to take some time today to do that. Unfortunately, because my camera is not working, all I have is this computer setup, which is not ideal for showing you the journal itself, but I will do the best that I can. And I wanted to show you, so this, you may remember, is my bullet journal. It's a white dotted Leuchtturm. And I just have a couple of stickers on there, and I have this plastic cover from Nanami paper. And this is now almost totally full, and it has been a dedicated bullet journal the entire time, since January. And I wanted to let you know how that's working out. So what I did, here's my front page. This was just a handout that they had at the library for a map exhibit upstairs. And then here I've got my index pages. Now the index pages, I think I mentioned at some point previous, what I did here was not go through as I wrote things out. I basically pre-planned my index. I have calendar pages, quarterly plans. I have my front matter, so income tracking, debt tracking, expenses, ledger pages. I have all of that just written out here in front so I know where it is. Several of these also, I don't know if you can see these tabs, several of them have tabs up here, like my budget and what did I tab actually? The Calendex, my budget. Okay, mainly those two, and then I had a couple things inside the journal part itself that I wanted to keep track of. But those are the pages that I go back to most often, so I just put a tab there. And then, so I had basically one page to list out all of that stuff. I went through June, which actually worked because I was not sure if I would get through the entire year in this book. And as you will see, I did not, so it's good that I stopped it at June. And then on the second index page that Leuchtturm gives, there I listed some notes and lists, if I wanted them in there. This I didn't use too much, but let me show you something that I did wind up doing. So you'll notice a couple of things here, like this has a green dot here. And then on this page, I have a blue and orange dots. Those correspond to themes. So for example, the blue dot here is thoughts and notes. The orange is workshop and article notes. So what I did was in some cases, I listed the first page of those. In this case, I did not with the thoughts and workshops, but on the side, I don't know if you can tell, but there are here, sorry, these up here, not these are tabs for the months, but these here are stickers. So I've color-coded those pages. If it has a blue sticker on it, let me get one here for you. If it has a blue sticker on it in the corner here, that means that these are random thoughts and ideas. If it has an orange sticker on it, then that means that these are notes from either a YouTube video I watched or an article I read, something that I wanted to take notes on. And that way I could just close the book and see where those notes pages are. I also later on put in yellow tabs, and those were I decided to try doing morning pages for anyone who's read The Artist's Way. I don't know if I'll keep up with that, but I put yellow stickers to indicate those pages. And then I'm going to show you these, the green ones are ledger pages. So a regular bank ledger. I have one for my checking account. I have one for my credit card account. They have these green tabs so I can notice them at a glance on the side. However, the other thing that I did, which was helpful, at the top of each of these, I did a little flag. I can't remember whose video I saw that showed this, that I got the idea from, but basically I have a number and a little arrow, meaning that this page is page 29, the next one is on page 81. So then if I go to page 81, oops, this one is only half done. So if I go to page 81, then up here the little flag indicates the previous one was page 29. And then right next to it, I should have, maybe I may not have done another one. That may be the problem. But then I would have a little arrow back indicating the previous page and an arrow forward indicating the next page that's on this same theme. Where does this continue in my journal? I really liked that. I like that almost better than the index because I can just go to the color page that I know I need and see where the last one is. I did do the same for, here I have Book of Shadows notes. My first one is on page 28, so let me go to page 28. And here, let me see, I don't know if it'll show up. Here are the Book of Shadows notes right here, and I put a color marker here, and again I did the flag, saying the next page is page 34. I have more Book of Shadows notes on page 34. So that flagging system worked out really well for me, and I found it a bit more useful than the index because the index has no rhyme or reason. It just, if you list everything as you go through by page, then you still basically have to run through every page to find what you need. So I don't really like that index system, but that's how I got around it. All right. And then I already pointed out that I put these tabs for each month on the side. These were the tabs that came with the Midori Traveler's Notebook. Where did I get these tabs? Oh, I got the 2017 little sticker pack, and it had tab dividers in there. These are the small ones. They're meant for the passport size Midori. So, and they are a little too small for this book, but I knew I would want to use the larger ones, so I didn't want to go through those first in case I didn't like tabbing this. So for each month, I put a tab. And then the one thing that was not consistent was a monthly spread. I did not always have a monthly spread because I have the Calendex, so I'm still working out how I want to use that. I was using a monthly spread for editorial stuff, editorial calendar, but as you can see here, most everything I wrote in pencil, it never got actively put in there, so it was kind of hit or miss. By the end of June, here I went back to what I used to use my calendar for, which is marking out the new and full moon, marking out when I have bills that are due, any amounts that are useful if it's not a regularly occurring amount, and big events that I want to keep track of. And I did also go through and put in each of the zodiac signs. Whenever the moon moves through a particular sign, I've marked that down as well. So that I liked. Now you'll also notice that I just cut and pasted in a printed calendar for the final month. I got so sick of redoing all my pages every month. I don't think I can deal. I love this bullet journal system. I really, really do. I love being able to put everything in one spot. But I hate writing out. I'm so tired of writing out my months and my weeks. I don't want to do it anymore. So I think I'm going to go. I attempted doing a weekly printout. I didn't like how it turned out. It's just not pretty. So then I did go back at the end and went to drawing in my weeks, but you'll notice these are much, much simpler than what I had originally. With the boxes, with the fancy writing, with the, no. Now it's just lines, put the name of the day and the date at the top, and that's it. I'm using these the same as I always did to mark out my work hours and any appointments I have. I am using little lines, you can hardly tell, maybe here is better, to keep track of other things, like in light green I keep track of work hours for this, for Witch Hazel, and in pink I keep track of corset hours since I'm still doing that. So that is kind of what everything has settled into. I've settled into, I have been using trackers, although I have not been using mine for this month, and I think that's mainly because it's just ugly. I did a printout. So for each month, the things that are recurring that I am consistently using: tracker, quasi-monthly spread, weeks. The weeks are the big thing. I put those all together at the beginning. I do all of my weeks up front, and then I start in on pages where I either have notes, and those are marked with an orange sticky, or these are my daily pages. If I journal, then I just write the day and the date up here. I tried sectioning out different days ahead of time, and that just doesn't work for me. Then that almost guarantees I will not use that space if I do it ahead. So after my weeks are all put in there, then I just write whatever I want to write. If it's journaling, then I do that, and I stay consistent by the page. So if I'm journaling here, I'm not going to put notes here. I'm going to go to the next open page and start notes and tab it with a blue sticky, and then I know it's a notes page. So this entire page will be journal, and then turn the page and more journal. That's how I worked with that. I did not mix my pages. So it's either dedicated to thoughts and notes, dedicated to workshop notes, or it's a journaling page. And that worked out really well. Then I just continue going through pages until the end of the month, and then I rinse and repeat for the next month. So there you have it. That's the update on my first almost entirely complete bullet journal. I still have some pages left, but I think there's a good chance I'm totally going to fill this up by the end of June. As long as I keep journaling, it will definitely happen. There are some miscellaneous blank pages throughout the journal that I meant to put something in there and didn't. That's a big thing that I need to watch out for. If I do not complete that intended page at the time I intend to do it, it does not get complete. It just stays blank the entire time. So I need to just accept that about myself, and if I am not ready to actually sit and complete the page, don't even start it. Don't save space for it, nothing, just keep on. But overall, the big thing that bothers me, okay, so I'll put it this way. I love this journal. I love, love, love it. I love having everything in one spot. I love being able to categorize everything within the journal. It's amazing. It's great. It's the first time ever I've been able to use one thing for life. The thing I do not love, my main issue that is going to cause me to use something else next year, is this. I only got through 6 months, and I had to be slightly conservative with my writing. And I don't like that. That means that my front matter here, the pages in the front that apply to the rest of the year, because I made plans for the year at the beginning, those pages are not going to be in my next journal. Either I have to copy them all out again, which I don't want to do, or I have to continually have this one with me for reference, which I don't want. So I do not like the fact that my planning is split up. So something just dawned on me that I totally forgot. Thought, and it's gone. That I did not like. So I've been trying to think of how do I want to get around that. I told myself I cannot buy any more journals until I finish what I've got. And I do have another Leuchtturm that I started using and then stopped. So I am going to continue the final 6 months in that journal with this exact same system. I'm just going to keep on with it. But for next year, I think I'm going to go back to a pre-printed planner. I just have not figured out how or what kind. I'm really tempted to try the Hobonichi. But I've also been trying to put together my own planning sheets, just because one of my big irritations with other systems is that they include a whole lot of pages that I don't need or want. So I'm debating. I've looked at the personal planner because you can customize it. I've looked at putting something together myself, and I don't know. I don't know what I want. I know sort of what I want. But it's a work in progress. Until then, until I figure it out, for right now, this system is working pretty well. I do enjoy a lot of aspects of it, and I think I'm just going to keep on with it. So, but I will update you on that. I don't want to chat too long here, but that was the overview of my first complete bullet journal. All right, so let me know how your bullet journal adventure is going. I would love to hear about any little tricks and tips and hacks that you have come up with. Until then, have a really good day and week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.